You know, it's funny. Most entrepreneurs are completely wrong about what it takes to scale a business. They think getting to millions is just about working 10 times harder than they did to hit that first six figures. So let's dive into why that belief isn't just wrong, it's actually the very thing holding them back. So you're probably thinking to yourself, man, if it was that much of a grind to get to the first 100 grand, then getting to a million must be 10 times harder. I mean, it feels logical, doesn't it? More money, more work, more problems. It just makes sense. But here's the twist, and this is the big idea we're unpacking today. The reality is the exact opposite. Scaling up to millions is, believe it or not, easier than grinding out that first 100,000. And the reason why all comes down to a huge shift in how you operate. So let's start with this concept. I call it the 100K danger zone. This is that spot where so many really promising businesses just get stuck. It's the point where sheer effort, where brute force and willpower, they just aren't enough anymore. You've basically hit a ceiling. Think of it like this. The danger zone is the level where your personal hustle, all that manual labor, has finally maxed out. You just can't physically work any more hours in the day. So to break through that ceiling, you can't just work harder. You have to start working differently. And here's the kicker. Aiming for millions forces you to adopt that smarter, more leveraged way of thinking. And that different approach, well, it requires a fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to evolve. You've got to go from being the main worker in your business to becoming the architect of your business. You stop laying the individual bricks and you start designing the whole cathedral. And you can really see the two paths laid out here. On one side, you've got the worker bee. They're stuck trading their time for money, and that means they're capped by the 24 hours in a day. But on the other side, you've got the architect. They're building a scalable asset, a system that makes money with or without them. That right there is the secret to unlimited growth. So how do you actually become the architect? Well, you start by engineering value and creating what we'll call scalable desire. Let's jump into 3 really powerful truths about what truly makes people want to buy something. All right, truth number 1, you have to escape the service trap. Seriously, the biggest thing holding people back from building wealth is trading their time directly for money. The way out is through product innovation, creating something that delivers value whether you're there or not. This quote just illustrates the point perfectly. I mean, think about that leverage for a second. One 15-minute conversation to sell 100,000 things. A consultant or a painter could never, ever do that. It takes the same exact effort to sell a scalable product to one person as it does to 1,000. That is some serious power. Okay, on to truth number 2. Value isn't some fixed objective thing. It's something you actually create inside the customer's mind. You can literally engineer desirability by tapping into these deep psychological drivers, especially our need for status and for things that we see as virtuous or just plain good. Check out this perfect real-world example from Tampa, Florida. You've got 2 restaurants, literally just steps away from each other. McAllister's has great, affordable food, but it's often kind of quiet. Then you have Eddie V's. It's expensive, it's positioned as this high-status experience, and it is always packed. People are not just paying for the fish, you know? They're paying $125 a plate. They're paying for the feeling, for the story, for the status that comes with saying, yeah, I ate at Eddie V's. When you position your offer like that as a high-status experience, people will line up to give you their money. The perceived value just skyrockets. And the third truth for engineering value is all about radical simplicity. So many business owners hide behind complicated words and jargon. But here's the deal. A confused mind always says no. Always. If you can't explain what you do in one crystal clear sentence, your customers are not going to do the hard work to figure it out. They'll just move on. Okay, so once you've engineered an amazing offer, you need the right mindset to actually sell it. Let's dig into the psychology of attracting buyers instead of pushing them away with 3 more powerful truths. Okay, truth number 4, you have to stop reverse selling. This is when you talk about all the hard work involved, the process. You think you're showing them how much value they're getting, but you're actually scaring them off. Nobody wants to buy hard work. Instead, sell the payoff. Sell the transformation. Don't describe the 15 sets of exercises. Describe the feeling of success when the scale finally claps for you. This next one, well, it's kind of like looking in a mirror. The way you behave as a customer directly shapes your success as a seller. If you're always hesitant, if you're indecisive when you buy things, guess what? You're going to bring that same weird energy into your sales calls. If you want to attract decisive, high-value clients, you have to become one first. And finally, let's talk about branding. Look, advertising is great for getting a quick response right now, but branding is what creates long-term wealth. A great brand tells a story that makes the customer feel elevated. Just think about a real estate agent who drives a Mercedes. That car isn't just a car. It's a branding tool. It's silently screaming, "I'm successful, and you can trust me with your biggest asset." Now, as you really start to generate some serious cash, you have got to protect it. And this brings us to one final, absolutely non-negotiable rule for managing your risk as you scale up. Here it is, super simple. The $2,000 rule. For any transaction that's under $2,000, just use credit cards. Make it as easy as possible for people to give you money. But for anything over $2,000, you need to require a wire transfer or an ACH. This is huge. It protects you from payment processors freezing your funds, and it protects you from those painful, fraudulent chargebacks. It puts you back in control of your own money. So let's just bring this all home. That journey from 6 figures to 7 figures, it is not about more work. It's about a completely different way of thinking. It's that critical shift away from selling your time, selling the pieces, to selling a transformational payoff. And here's the proof in action. After an $18,000 investment to learn the high-level skills to market a scalable product, in this case it was a book, that entire investment was made back in just 7 days. How? Because the product filled a clear need. The offer was simple, and it sold the payoff, not the process. That is the real power of the shift. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. If you feel like you're stuck in that danger zone, still trading your hours for dollars, I want you to look at your market. What is the one gap, the one void that you can fill? Not with more of your time, but with a scalable product. The answer to that question, well, that could be your real path to millions.